looks as she does here. Today's GT500 day. Haven't driven this car for at least a month. How about that, huh? I'm gonna give her a drive and see what I feel about her. Give you some reviews again. Well, when you haven't driven in a while, charging system service soon. I thought I had like 900 miles on this. This has a little more fun than this thing I realized. Tire pressures are down a little bit. Cold up here. 44 degrees it says. I think it's a little cooler than that. Now, this is the first time I've driven in a while. Man, she just feels like a race car. Until you really drive this car, she just so feels like a race car. It is. It's a race car. Wow. My challenge is getting out of my driveway, my cars and everything here. I need a bigger piece of property, right? Uh-huh. No, just less cars. Hey, that's a good idea. No way. Now, I never tinted the windows out in this car, and I don't know, I've had mixed feelings on that because the car is just so dark. You know, it's just a dark car, but I guess she'd look pretty cool. Maybe that's the next project. I would think some people would say that guy owns a Ford dealership. There's another Ford up there. There's actually a Ford back there, hidden back there. Another Ford around here. Oh yeah, there's another Ford there, and then got another Ford down in Florida. So got some Fords. One thing's for sure, the heated seats today are nice. I got so many damn iPhones. There's my fuel economy. Driving a manual transmission when you come off the start. Got her in my track exhaust. Oh, I can feel the tires. Tires are square, it's for sure. Because I haven't driven her so long. There's the downshifting right there instantly. It was just so nice. Ford definitely does a good job on the interaction. I mean, my Hellcats don't do that. I'd be curious to drive a Corvette, the new generation C8 Corvette, because my previous generation C7 Stingray, I don't remember that transmission doing that, an automatic. So, you know, once again, these Ford, I think, has done a really good job of giving you that really just interactive feel with this transmission. And now there's definitely a difference in this Predator motor to the Coyote motor as far as the noise. So the exhaust is definitely a whole different note over that Coyote motor. So beautiful Saturday sunny day, but it's windy and it's cool out. And now I've been driving my Bullet a lot lately. So, you know, one thing you definitely feel about this car is it definitely has more of a footprint. I mean, much more, just very much more noticeable. And, you know, of course, you know what that means. It just hugs the road. You know, she just squats down and bigger tires and suspension and but she's a gas hog. 15 miles a gallon. You know, for me, I can fill up in the morning, fill up in the afternoon. I usually drive about 150 to 200 miles when I get in my cars. So, roads are still light. Transmission really is, she's smoother, you know. It's something how I really think the 10-speed transmission in the Ford Mustang GT is more aggressive than this 7-speed DCT. You know, I mean, when you see that 10-speed training, you just kind of feel like the kick. And I don't want to use the word bump, because that's kind of how this car here in the lower gears, when you're downshifting and kind of comes from, you know, you're coming up to a stop, it just kind of feels like sometimes that second gear to first gear kind of gives you a little bit of a kick. Still warm up the tires. Still has a little bit of a, you kind of still feel the tires. Not really a lot of vibration, but I can just kind of feel it. Now another thing is these seats. So these seats are so much more comfortable than my GT Premium. You know, I have the GT Premium 2019 Orange Fury, and I've got the Bullet. You know, that's something we got to look at. I swear the Bullet seats are a step down from my GT Premium seats. Probably not. I mean, I would sincerely doubt that. I would think that those seats are the same as the GT Premium, but the real conversation here is how these GT500 seats are so comfortable. And I didn't want the Recaro, so none of my cars have Recaros in them. I was tracking, I would consider that, but you're not tracking the car, and you're just doing a lot of over-the-road driving. I don't think the Recaros are worth it. You know, the vented seats, heated seats, that's a nice option. Now this car here, you just feel so much more like this is just a real race car. I mean, that's something you really get out of this GT500 product. You don't get that feel out of the GT Premium. I don't get that feel out of the Bullet. And being I own all three of them and I can drive them all back to back to back. The GT500, this car just so, you know, you truly feel like you're driving down the road in your race car, which, you know, that's for the, you know, for anybody out there that's the GT500 owner or the Mustang, you know, lover and knows everything about these cars. They get that, you know, but at the same time, until you really drive it, I don't think you really get it, because it's just, you know, one of these things where you read about these cars through the media and you hear the stories, but until you drive it, it really is a different, you know, just a different ride, different car. And for me, I even questioned the amount of money you spend for this car, which is a lot of money. And if I was in the budget range of the GT Premium, that's fine. I mean, that car is every bit of fun that you're going to have in a Mustang for the value of the money you spend. And of course, you get to the GT500, and it's, you know, it's all the goodies are on it, and it is a difference. So for anybody out there like, yeah, but it's a GT500 really worth the money? If you have the budget, yes, it definitely is worth the money. If you don't have the budget, then yeah, the GT Premium, the GT Mustang, the Bullet, those are great, fun Mustangs. You're gonna have every bit as fun, you know, overall. But really, the message here is that there really is a difference in what you're driving. So for anybody out there like, wow, you know, is it worth it? If your budget is available, yes. And, you know, something else to think about. You know, I kind of get into these cars, and I had a little bit of fun with them. Look at that. See that? I just gave this thing some gas. I'm not even doing anything. This car is doing all this on its own, which I think is so neat. The GT Premium, though, that car off the line, I feel like 60 miles an hour or so. It's every bit of this car. I mean, it really is. I mean, that 10-speed auto, it just goes through the gears. And I've even talked about this in my Bullet reviews on how that Ford kind of did a heck of a job of that 10-speed auto. They did a great job on the gearing of the car and the 10-speed auto, and it does a phenomenal job on just being fast off the line. At the end of the day, is the 500 faster, of course. Now, one thing you do notice about this DCT, it just seems like a lot to me, like there's just a lot going on. And, you know, I want to use the word clunking, but I think people will look at that the wrong way, because I've mentioned this numerous times. And I don't know what it is, but this car is just kind of in the slow gears, getting around the parking lots, and you're coming off speeds, and you're coming to stoplight. It's just, you know, you just get a lot of that kind of downshifting, and you just kind of feel a lot, you know, and it feels, to a degree, it feels sloppy, you know, and I think that kind of comes away in a negative way. I mean, I think it's just the engineering of how this DCT transmission interacts with the car, but it's just a really weird feeling. And if you didn't know this was a dual clutch transmission, I would really say you'd be like, hey, this transmission really has issues. And which I don't think it does, but it just has a really different feel from my 10-speed auto, and of course my manual transmission, and my, you know, Hellcats. So just something to be aware of. If you look at the temperature on my screen here, it's 46 degrees out, and I'm going to tell you what, and I know all about tires and how you shouldn't drive this car when it's 40 degrees or less. And I'd have to honestly say I wouldn't drive this car if it's 50 degrees or less. I mean, I've gotten into this car a few times so far today, and I'd have to honestly say I'm lucky I haven't wiped it out. I mean, I was out on the highway, and I went to pass a guy, and I got into it, and this back end literally came out. It's just a miracle I didn't clip the guy. And then up the road, I just was kind of getting into it and did it again. And, you know, Jesus Christ, this thing busted loose again. So, for all the naysayers out there, I've had arguments with people about when it's 40 degrees or less, you really shouldn't drive around in your performance tires on these high-performance cars. Got a little open road here. I could give a little 60-mile-an-hour sprint to see how she does on a cool day, which I think we're going to know that answer. She's going to be just not... I'm pretty impressed. I mean, it's 46 degrees out. I didn't even heat up the tires. And, I mean, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Shoot, heat the tires up. Probably shave off a few tenths. I've had a good driving day today. This is such like a car that you don't really know the power she really has. And that's kind of dangerous, I think, because you don't feel like she's that potent until you kind of really get into her. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow. So, and I would be willing to venture over time, I'd be amazed if you don't hear more people crashing these things, because it kind of gives you a false impression of the power that you don't think that's right there. You know, you're just kind of going on the road. She's pretty mundane. You know, she just isn't a lot. But then when you get into her, she just really gets crazy fast. And, you know, I've already witnessed that, experienced, I should say, that today, just on my own. Where if you weren't an experienced driver, of a second. Interesting. Sport mode did better in that scenario. Now I could hear the back end busting loose more in the track mode than the sport. So very interesting.